Rapsody is an MC. She's from North Carolina. She was nominated. Her album Layla's Wisdom was actually nominated for a Grammy, multiple Grammys last year. Yes, and she's one of these like your favorite MC's MC type of person, right? But she doesn't get, because of the patriarchy, right? She doesn't get all the shine. So she has this new album out called Eve, and each song is named after a woman that she's inspired by, a Black woman that she's inspired by. The first song to drop was called Ibtihaj. So it was named after Ibtihaj Muhammad, the African-American Muslim woman who was the Olympian, right? She's an Olympian fencer. And the song is, and the song is important, like it drops and it's like Jizza and is on it, and from the Wu-Tang Clan. The Wu-Tang Clan is known, right, because of they're known because of who they are in terms of like, as a hip hop group and their impact, but also because many of them were members of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. And that's a very important part of their narrative and who they are. So Jizza's on it, and D'Angelo's on it, and the song, and I use the sample from the song "Liquid Swords," which is a famous Wu-Tang track. In any event, so it's named Ibtihaj. Now it's very cryptic, right? Because this is a song you're like, what's up to Ibtihaj, right? But it's like my husband talking to me, he helped me figure it out. Liquid Swords, Ibtihaj, here we go. That's the connection, right? But the video comes out. And so the video is really, I think the intention of the video is really to be a kind of homage to Muslim women and Black Muslim women, and also to Sudan, because at the end of the video, they make this sort of statement about Sudan. And so what you have is all these different women who are covered in a dress, and they're like, some of it's monochromatic, this kind of thing. They're kind of, and they're there, they're around, they're moving around. There's one woman, she's on those big, I don't know what they call the motorcycles that are big. Thank you, four-wheel. ATVs. ATV, there you go. Right, she's driving through New York, and they're in Brooklyn, they're in New York, right, this kind of thing. So like people are like, oh, that's cool, but then people are like, so it's cool. Like, and this is what's interesting, and this is what I wanted to write about, because this is not Ibtihaj's first time doing this. She has another song called Betty Shabazz, and in Betty Shabazz, she also has Muslim women in it, but these Muslim women appear to be like actual Muslim women, and so they're wearing kind of their regular clothes. I think they all have on white scarves, but it's just kind of like how you would see a Black Muslim woman walking around the street type of thing. The women in the video are highly stylized, and we're kind of like, and many of my friends, and we're like, they look at towels on their head. She's like, what is going? It's like way too much material. Like nobody's walking around like that. This kind of thing. We don't think they're actually Muslim women, and so I thought that was interesting because here I think I'm almost certain by how Rapsody talks about the album, what she's doing, that she is doing this because she wants to bring visibility, right? She wants to bring visibility. She wants to honor. She wants to do that kind of stuff. But like, no Muslim women were consulted in the filming of this video. You know what I mean, right? And so there's this way in which, and I think a lot of that, and actually, but I think a lot of that also has to do also with this racialization of the Muslim as brown and foreign and stuff. Because I feel like, and I read a little bit about the person who did the styling and that kind of stuff, but it feels like, the hijab, and if you notice, this is my first time using that word, because I don't use that word, right? But the hijab, right, is this icon. So it felt a little bit like, Rapsody or her team, whoever, probably know, Jamila and Shahida down the block. But because they want to represent this icon, the aesthetics kind of become a little bit weird, So it's cool, and people are excited. But most of these Muslim men, they're like, oh, what's the big deal? That looks great. And the women are like, nobody dresses like that, Like, you're like, no, So it was like this kind of thing. For me, what was interesting about it was that kind of like, where did sort of, I want to say maybe market forces and other discourses, right, that are outside of hip hop, that are outside of Black communities, right, but now dominate our thinking. To me, I look at that and I see them shaping, what happened there.